Hey, and welcome. Today, we're going to break down the idea behind a podcast called Strength Talk. It's designed for ambitious leaders who are really ready to master their inner game. So, what's the secret to unlocking your real leadership potential? Let's dive in and find out. Okay, so first things first, what problem is this podcast even trying to solve? Well, it gets right to the heart of a huge challenge that honestly, countless leaders are facing right now. That feeling of being completely and utterly stuck. And let's be real specific here. This is for you, the manager, who is an absolute master of the day-to-day, but you feel trapped by it. You're so busy putting out fires, managing your team, that you have zero time left to invest in your own growth, or to think strategically, or even just to dream about what your next big career move could be. And look, this isn't just a hunch or a feeling. Some really interesting research from the Canada School of Public Service found that a staggering 63% of public servants feel this exact way. I mean, that's a massive number, and it tells you this is a real, widespread issue. And this right here, this is the core of the problem. That huge majority, they point the finger at one thing: a lack of time. The overwhelming demands of their job are the number one reason they just can't work on their own professional development. They know they need to build their leadership skills, but they're just too swamped to do it. So how do you break that cycle? Well, Strength Talk comes at this with a solution that isn't about adding more to your to-do list. Nope, it's about shifting your entire focus. The whole method is based on something called positive psychology coaching. Now, this isn't about fixing what's wrong with you. It's a science-backed approach that completely flips the script. It starts by identifying the strengths and talents you already have, and then helps you figure out how to use them way more effectively. This quote just nails the entire philosophy. You don't need fixing, you need focus. The idea is that high-potential leaders are already talented people. The problem isn't a lack of ability, it's a lack of focused, intentional application of that ability. And you should know, this isn't just some feel-good theory. All the content is curated by an ICF-accredited coach. That's the International Coaching Federation, basically the global gold standard for professional coaching, so you know it's legit. Plus, the whole approach is grounded in proven frameworks like the GROW model. That stands for goal, reality, options, and will. You can just think of it like a roadmap, a structured, practical way to get from where you are to where you want to be. Okay, so how does all this theory actually turn into action? Well, the podcast gives you a practical toolkit, a leadership blueprint, that's broken down into these really key areas. Let's walk through it. First up is all about getting crystal clear on your direction. It's about pulling yourself out of the daily grind for a minute to connect with your deeper purpose, your why. So you'll use tools like the Wheel of Life exercise to figure out where you're really spending your energy versus where you want to be spending it. And the psychological power here is huge, because when your daily actions finally line up with your core values, motivation stops being a struggle. It just becomes automatic. And from there, you learn to set smart goals that actually mean something to you, not just to your boss. All right, the next piece of this blueprint is all about discovering your unique leadership edge. What makes you different? What makes you so effective? This is where you find your superpower. So here, you'd use proven assessments like the VI Character Strength Survey to pinpoint your signature strengths. You know, the things you're just naturally good at, like integrity or persistence. But here's the real game changer. You then learn how to weave those strengths into a compelling story that gets you noticed. So for example, if your strength is creativity, you don't just say it. No way. You show how you used it to save a failing project, leading to some innovative solution that saved the company thousands. You see? That's turning a trait into a story of real impact. Of course, we all know leadership is not a walk in the park. So the third big focus is about building the resilience to actually thrive under pressure, not just survive it. And this is all about practical, actionable stuff. We're talking techniques like the 3-minute breathing space to help you find some calm in the middle of chaos. You learn to regulate your emotions when tensions are high, so you can maintain the clarity you need to make smart decisions, even when you're facing setbacks like budget cuts or shifting priorities. So when you put all of these pieces together, your values, your strengths, your resilience, what's the ultimate outcome? What do you get? Well, after all of that inner work, you finally master your inner game. And this slide just perfectly captures that transformation. It's about making that leap from being someone who's really good at managing tasks and keeping the ship running smoothly to becoming someone who actually shapes the strategy, inspires entire teams, and has real influence across the whole organization. You're not just on the bridge anymore. You are charting the course. Ultimately, this whole journey is about building your personal leadership brand. You stop being seen as just the manager of a team, and you start being seen as the person with the vision and the skills to solve the organization's biggest, toughest challenges. You become indispensable. You become the one they turn to when the stakes are highest. And that brings us to the final question that a podcast like this would pose to you. After feeling stalled and overwhelmed for so long, are you ready to build a career that's defined not by busy work, but by genuine confidence, by strategic clarity, and by meaningful impact? Strength Talk is designed to be your guide for that journey.